Hi guys, my name is Lay. Today I'm gonna be doing a get ready with me. This is one of my first ever videos, so bear with me. But yeah, I'm gonna do a get ready with me. I'm gonna talk about my experience with the Air Force. So I'm gonna be doing my hair, my makeup. I already have my wig, kind of just laid down, sitting, and I'm about to just do my makeup. My eyebrows are somewhat done, and here we go. So the Air Force. So in 2018, I decided I was going to join the Air Force, and I went to a recruiter in March or April 2018, and I started my process. Now, I didn't actually ship out till September of 2019. It took me almost a year and a half to ship out. It took forever. My process was forever because I went to MEPS. Then I had to go back over and over again. It was just a forever process. Then getting my job was another waiting process. I had to get a waiver submitted that made me prolong my process even longer. So I waited almost a year and a half before having to ship out. Most people's experience is not like mine. Like some people get in within 6 months, 3 months, they get in, bam, boom, no problem. But no, my process was a whole freaking year and a half. I had times when I was like, I'm not even sure if I should even be doing this anymore because there's no reason why it's taking so long. But anyways, I finally did ship out, and I shipped out September 17th, 2019. Oh my gosh. So that morning, I shipped out from Brooklyn. So we woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning, got ready, ate breakfast, then we went to MEPS. When we went, we had to go through a whole process of just pregnancy tests, checkups, and all that stuff before they actually sent us out. Once we did that, I left around 3 that afternoon and landed in Texas about 9 that night. Oh, I didn't sleep for the first 24 hours. Like that, as soon as we got there, it was over. As soon as we got off the plane, we walk to like this open area, and all you hear is the MTIs yelling, "Get off your phones, turn off your phones." They're just yelling at us, and you're just like, whoa, what the heck? And it's like 9 o'clock at night over there, because Texas is an hour behind. So it's 9 o'clock there, but 10 o'clock here. So the MTI is just yelling at us, just going crazy. Then they tell us, okay, take our phones out, make your last phone call, let your parents know that you arrived, and then turn off your phone and put it in your bag, and do not turn on your phone for the rest of the time that you're here. And if you turn on your phone, you're gonna get sent back home. Like, they were just saying a whole bunch of crazy stuff if we turned on our phone. So we get to Lackland Air Force Base. From the airport to Lackland Air Force Base was like a 30-minute bus ride. You're gonna get whatever bus driver to take you there. I had an amazing bus driver. He was very nice. He, don't remember what he exactly said, but he gave us a pep talk, a speech about just everything, and telling us how everything's gonna be okay. It's not as bad as we think it's gonna be. Things gonna get better. So we get there, we go into this building, and in the building we go into the auditorium. So in the auditorium you sit, and we had to wait. Well, I had to wait for the girls from my flight to get there. So I got there like around, let's say I got there at 10. I literally sat in the auditorium till about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Maybe even longer, honestly. I'm not even 100% sure because I was so tired. It was just crazy. Till my flight got there. So when my flight got there, we finally went to our dorms. So now when you're there, there's something called Disneyland and Alcatraz. It's really the new buildings and the older buildings. So I was in Alcatraz. I loved being in Alcatraz. I didn't mind being in Alcatraz, but maybe because I never was in Disney, I didn't really see the big difference. But I loved being in Alcatraz. I was at the 326 training squadron. I was a bulldog. Loved that training squadron. I had the best MTIs ever. Like, my MTIs, they were really, 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 really great. One was like a dad. I had three male MTIs. One was like a dad. He was like very, very, he was very nice in a way, but he was Like, we didn't want to disappoint him. One was just straight up scary. Like, he was scary as heck. Like, no matter what, he was scary. But when he was being calm, he was really nice to talk to. Like, he gave really good advice. And then the other one, he was newer, but he was funny. Like, he gave really good jokes. Like, I enjoyed my time there with my MTIs. They really were great. But there were some dark times with the MTIs because, like I said, they're MTIs. They're supposed to be hard on us. So anyways, back to my first night. So we get there, and my MTI gets on the bus. He has his hat down. We're going to call him, because I don't want to say his actual name, we're going to call him Techno Sergeant Long. No. Yeah, Techno Sergeant Smith. There we go. Techno Sergeant Smith. He got on the bus. His hat is down like this, so you can't tell if he's a male or a female. He's like, he's right there, and he gets on the bus. He's like, y'all have 30 seconds to get off this bus, or something like that. And we all run off the bus, and when we get off the bus, he tells us, the first thing he says, first 2 rows, take a knee. So there's 4 rows, there's 4 elements. So the first 2 elements facing him has to take a knee. So he would tell us, take a knee, then get back up, take a knee, get back up, take a knee, get back up. Oh my goodness, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning at this time. Everybody's tired, they just want to sleep, and he's just saying a whole bunch of stuff and making us do a whole bunch of stuff that is so crazy. So we lived on Bravo floor, so that was the top floor. There's Alpha and Bravo. We had 2 cousin flights, and then we had a brother flight. Our cousin flight was males also, so we had male brother cousin flights, and then we had a brother flight. Their female cousin flight. So we're upstairs on the Bravo floor, so we have to take our bags that they give us. Not only do we have bags, I skipped a whole thing from the PRC thing. Okay, so when we get there, we have to, I have to rewind, sorry. So they give us a bag when you get there, right? Filled with a whole bunch of stuff that you pay for or whatever when you get there. In the bag comes with a whole bunch of products and supplies that you're gonna need for your 8 weeks that you're there. You dump out this bag, and basically don't go with too much stuff, because if you go with too much stuff, you're literally going to be carrying the suitcase or book bag that you come with, plus whatever bag they give you, and the shit is heavy, okay? It is heavy. So anyways, once you get into your dorm or whatever, we went in the dorm. The story's all over the place. I'm sorry. My MTI, he's talking to us. He says a whole bunch of stuff. I don't freaking know what he says. Can't tell you anything because I was exhausted at this point. So we wake up, we go to bed. By the time we go to bed, it's like 4:30, I think almost 5, I don't know. We wake up the next morning like around 10. This is 0 week. I can't really remember 0 week that well because it was just so fast, so many things that we had to do, and I'm still stuck on my eyebrows. Oh my goodness. We had so much that we had to do, and it was just a crazy, crazy week. Now, like I said, I got there when it was September, so you would think, hey, it's September, it's fall time, it's about to start cooling down. Yeah, no, not at all. It is still reaching 100-degree weather in Texas. So our whole 0 week, we're marching around getting shots done, paperwork's done, a whole bunch of stuff done that that's mandatory in your 0 week that you have to get done. So we didn't get our uniforms till our like Thursday or Friday. The girls in my flight and we didn't get ours till Thursday or Friday. So when we got our uniform, the days that we didn't have our uniform, we were marching around in our civilian clothes. It was disgustingly sweaty and hot. Worst time ever. Literally the worst time ever. Because it was just so hot. Your body's not acclimated to the weather yet. It's just literally, it was the worst time ever in 0 week. It was crazy. And then it didn't get no better with uniforms because the uniforms were really hot too. But it was better than walking around and sweating in your civilian clothes. So I did prefer the uniforms for a moment in time. So now my experience is not like was not like a lot of people, because for me, I spent 5 months at BMT, and others spend, the typical time is 8.5 weeks. I spent 20 weeks there instead of 8.5. So with my experience, I went there. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't 100% prepared physically. I was prepared. I felt like I was prepared enough, but I was not prepared as I should have been. I could have been more prepared. So when I got there, everything was fine. The workouts, you don't start workouts till the end of your 0 week, the Saturday of your 0 week. So we did our first workout that Saturday. Everything was fine. I mean, the first day was like, it was a run day. I had a little bit of muscle pain and stuff like that, but it wasn't that big of a deal. Fast forward about 2 weeks, I'm running and I have literally like so much pain in my shin area and my knee area. It's really bad. It's to the point where I couldn't bend my knee anymore without, and we lived on the top floor. We lived on Bravo. We were like on the top floor. We had to run up and down those stairs, and it would hurt me to run up and down the stairs. I was scared to tell my MTIs that I was in pain because everyone talks about, oh, hey, if you tell your MTIs that you're in pain, you're going to get sent to MedHold. And I'm like, I don't want to get sent to MedHold. That's not where I want to go. All I want to do is graduate and get out of here. That was just my game plan and the mindset that I had at the time. So eventually the pain was unbearable, getting like unbearable. I couldn't bend my knee, sit, like kneel on my knee. I couldn't function with the pain anymore. So I told some really good friends of mine that I had in my flight, I was like, hey, I'm in pain. What should I do? Should I tell, this is my other sergeant that we had. I was like, should I tell Techno Sergeant, we have Techno Sergeant Smith, Sergeant Sergeant. All right, whatever, it doesn't matter. I told them, I was like, hey, should I tell them? They were like, how much pain are you in? Is it really bad? And I was like, yeah, it's really bad. So they were like, I think you should say something. So I finally did say something. When I did say something to them about it, he sent me to Reed. When they went to Reed, I went to Reed. They did MRI. No, not MRI. They did an X-ray on me. I was fine. Everything came back clear. I went to Viper, and the doctor I saw at Viper was like, oh, you're fine. You just have an MCL issue. That's all. Blah, blah, blah. We're just going to give you physical therapy. So I was put in physical therapy for on run days. I would, instead of running, I would go to physical therapy in the morning, and we would just do bikes instead. So originally my first week, so you have a first week PT test, a 3rd week PT test, and your 6th week PT test. I couldn't do my first week PT test. My run time was like 19:22, which is horrible. I know, you don't have to tell me it's horrible. I know, but I was in pain. I was in so much pain, so it was at 19:22. So with physical therapy and stuff like that, when it came to my 3rd week PT test, my run time went down to 17, I think it's like 17:15, something like that. I don't really 100%, it went down by like 2 minutes. So after that, instead of taking my 1st week PT test during my 1st week, I took it during my 2nd week. Instead of taking my 3rd week PT test in my 3rd week, I took it my 4th week. And then I took my 6th week PT test when I was supposed to. So during that time, my pain was getting worse. They gave me ibuprofen to take, and the ibuprofen I was taking was 800 milligrams. So I would take one in the morning so I wouldn't feel any pain. And then I would take one again at night to help with the pain. Because when you take the ibuprofen in the morning, I didn't feel anything throughout the day until about like 5-6 o'clock. The pain would start coming back. So with that, I would just after dinner chow, I would take another ibuprofen just so when I go to sleep, I would elevate my legs and stuff like that, just to make sure my legs are good. And that was just my routine. I was not trying to go to MedHold for nothing. I wasn't, but I was still in pain. Things were not getting better. It was getting worse, but I was trying to suck it up just so I can finish BMT. That was my goal. That was all I wanted to do, was to finish BMT. No matter what it cost, no matter what pain I was in, I was trying to finish. Now, with that being said, fast forward to my 6th week, it's time for a PT test. I was on running waivers this whole time. Since my 2nd week of training, I was on running waivers. I didn't run on the track like everybody else. I didn't get to improve my run time like everybody else did. I was just on bicycles the whole time. So with me being on bicycles, I did improve. It helped with my run time, not gonna lie. I improved, but I did not do the best that as well as I could have, you know, if I was running like everybody else, which I'm not mad about, I'm not upset about. It just, my experience was different. I went a different route. So when it came to my 6-week PT test, I failed my run time by 30 seconds. You have to pass 16:22. I was at 15:52. Yeah, I was like right there. I failed my run test by 30 seconds. So they sent me to MedHold. Well, the reason why, okay, so I was on a medical waiver. My waiver for me to finally be able to run again was expired the Sunday, and we had PT tests the Monday. So I did our EOC, passed my EOC, PT test. I missed on the Monday PT test, I missed my run by 1 lap. So then I had to do my PT test again that Wednesday. So we had a run day. We ran, how did it happen? I did my PT test Monday. We had strength day Tuesday. PT test, no, I did my PT, we ran Wednesday again, strength day Thursday. Then I did my PT test I did my PT test on a Wednesday because I cried from Wednesday to Friday. So yeah, we ran Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because that's how it just happened that we were just running like that. So mind you, I haven't ran for 6 weeks. I have prior 4 weeks, 4 weeks I haven't been really running. So when I finally ran on that Monday, I was in pain, but I was sucking it up. I was trying. I would have made it. I believe I would have made it if I didn't miss that lap. But at the same time, my run time was still really bad, so I probably wouldn't have. You never know. I really don't know how that would have played out. But I ended up failing my PT test that Wednesday by 30 seconds, and then I found out I was gonna have to go to MedHold. MedHold had this program called Get Fit. So you pass your PT. If you fail your PT test, you go to the Get Fit program, and you go to the Get Fit program, and then you work out there, do whatever you have to do there, take your PT test there, and then you could go back into line flight from there. So that was the plan. I was gonna go do my PT test there, and then I was just gonna get back into line flight and then graduate either a week or 2 later. Did not happen. So I went there after running Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Didn't run Thursday, didn't run Friday. I don't remember how it was. It was just crazy. I ran a lot that week, more than I have. Saturday when I was running, my foot was hurting. Everything was in pain. So when I finally went to MedHold, we ran Monday. Oh my gosh, when I'm telling you, I was in so much pain. But I was still pushing through. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we ran 2 miles. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we ran 2 miles. Thursdays was off because Friday we had our PT test. I failed the PT test then, but this time I went up in time. I failed it by like 1.5 minutes, and I was like, bro, how is this happening? I'm not gonna make it. What the heck is going on? So then the following week, I did my PT. I didn't even make it to my PT test. We didn't run Monday because it was raining and they didn't want us running. So then the Tuesday the Wednesday we were running. No, we ran Monday. We didn't run Tuesday because it was raining. The Wednesday when we were running, I was running and I was literally in tears. This girl, I don't know if she wants me to say her name, but one of the girls, she was really like, she was like, Hazelwood, let's go, run, let's go, we got this. And I'm running and I'm pushing, and then she turns around, she sees I'm crying. She's like, you need to stop right now. My MTI, at this point, they knew something was wrong with me, but they weren't 100% sure because they called IDMT and asked them like, hey, you need to look at her. The IDMT was like, oh, she's fine. It's just her running form. She needs to get new sneakers. At this point, I've gotten all the doctors and stuff were telling me I need new sneakers. I had runner's knee. I had MCL issues. I was overpronating when I run. That's all they were telling me. Like that was my issues. That was the problem. They didn't tell me I had any bone injuries or anything, no shin splints or anything, right? I didn't need vitamin D or nothing. They weren't looking at that. So when I finally went to I was crying. My MTI saw I was crying. She was like, no, you need to stop. You're going to Reed. She sent me to Reed. They did an x-ray. Once again, my x-ray came back clear. So they scheduled me to do an MRI. Now, mind you, when I get my MRI done, it's now my 8th week of training. My flight is graduating. I'm on crutches. I was on crutches in and out my whole experience. I was in and out on crutches. But they didn't think anything was wrong, right? But I'm on crutches though. So I'm on crutches. My MTI, so now at this point, I'm transferred out of the Get Fit program and I'm transferred into the MedHold program, and I'm pissed. I'm so mad. So when they transfer, I go see my flight graduate and all that stuff. My mom and my boyfriend came down. It was great, whatever. But I was sad because my flight's graduating. I'm stuck here. I'm not graduating with them. But I know it's like a bittersweet moment. So I wasn't like too pressed or too. I was upset, but it wasn't. It was out of my control. There was nothing I can do about it. So now at this point, my flight's graduating. I would have been in my 8th week of training. I would have been graduating also with them, all that great stuff. So now they're all graduating. They're like, why are you back on crutches? I'm like, hey, I don't know. I had an MRI to get done. I'm getting my results on Monday. I'll know what happened on Monday. Fast forward to friggin' Monday. I find out that my doctor tells me, you have stress fractures. That's what I was trying to avoid getting the whole time. And I ended up, that's why I didn't want to go to MedHold and all that stuff. That's why I didn't want to go to my MTI to complain about, because I didn't want to hear that I had stress fractures. But I ended up with stress fractures anyway. And it's not even like I just had one stress fracture. I had multiple stress fractures. I had 4B stress fractures, which is the worst that you can possibly get. Like, I'm like a hairline from breaking my bones. So I had 4B stress fracture in my knee, my shin, my ankle, and the top of my foot, in both legs. So my doctors tell me that I lit up like a Christmas tree in my MRI, and that I literally was a run day or two away from breaking both of my legs in half in multiple places. So now they tell me I have to sit in MedHold and heal and still do physical therapy and stuff like that, right? So at this point, I'm in my 9th week of training, and now I have to sit. Healing a stress fracture takes about 8 to 10 weeks, they say. So now I'm here healing, waiting to heal in MedHold. MedHold? That's a whole different story on how MedHold is alone. If you want me to tell a story about MedHold, I will definitely tell the MedHold story. But this is just my BMT experience story right now. So MedHold is a totally different world. Totally different world. So now I'm there, supposed to be healing, blah, blah, blah. So now I was supposed to be out by Thanksgiving. I'm spending Thanksgiving in MedHold at BMT. Then I spent Thanksgiving there. I mean, I wasn't upset because Thanksgiving they let us go out. We spent time with our with some families and stuff like that. It wasn't a bad experience, but I would rather have spent Thanksgiving with, my family, but it's just the luck of the draw I ended up getting. So didn't get to spend Thanksgiving with my family, but I'm not upset because I ended up spending it with a wonderful family, and I met one of these girls who ended up being really a good friend of mine while I was in MedHold. So it wasn't that bad. So back to the story. So now I was told that I basically almost broke both my legs in half, and now I have to sit in MedHold and heal. So now I'm in MedHold, just sitting there. You don't do nothing in MedHold, except on the weekends you watch movies sometimes. But I'm not doing anything at all in MedHold. Well, not sometimes. We always watch movies on the weekends. You had a game room. You had a library. So I ended up reading a lot of books while I was in MedHold. I became a book junkie. It was to the point where I started buying my own books whenever we went to the mini mall or the main BX, because I really just enjoyed reading so much again. So yeah, I was in MedHold. It sucked. I was sad. So I spent from my 6th week of training all the way till the time I left, all the way in MedHold. Now, by January and December, around Christmas time, I had rolled my ankle, so that kind of put me back. I was on my ways to doing walk to runs, but then I rolled my ankle, so it put me back, so I couldn't do my walk to runs, but it put me back by 2 weeks. So that kind of sucked, and it delayed my process. And I kind of feel like if I never rolled my ankle, I probably would have made it, and I would have been able to graduate. But, you know, once again, you never know. God has his own plans sometimes, and maybe that just wasn't it for me at the moment. So after I rolled my ankle, blah, 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 it hits January. They give me another MRI. They're basically telling me, hey, we got to see if you're healing. And if you're not healing, you got to go home to heal. That's where I was at in this whole process. So now they get an MRI on me, and my ankle and my foot is near completion healed. And then my stress fractures in my knee and my shins are only a grade 2. And I still have pain when I run. So they tell me, hey, you have to go home to heal. And then 4 weeks later, they sent me home. Now I'm home healing. And then they said that I still have at least a minimum of 2 months of healing process left. Stress fractures are supposed to take 4 to 6 weeks to heal. I mean, 8 to 10 weeks to heal. I had so many stress fractures and so bad of stress fractures that instead of taking 8 to 10 weeks, it's almost been, we found out about my stress fractures in November, and it's now March, and I still am not 100% healed. And it's crazy, because I didn't have stress fractures before. My vitamin D levels are fine. They put me on vitamin D pills and stuff like that to make sure my vitamin D levels were up and all that stuff. But my vitamin D levels are fine. But I'm not healed yet. I'm not 100% healed still. And it's been since November since they found out about my stress fractures. And the way I feel about it is when I complained about my stress, my knee back in October, the first time I complained about my knee, instead of the doctor saying, oh, you have runner's knee, or oh, we did an x-ray, you're fine. They know stress fractures are really common, and stress fractures don't show on x-rays, they only show on MRIs. They should have did an MRI on me when I was supposed to, because I was scheduled to do an MRI, and the doctor who told me I had MCL issues and it wasn't anything else, denied me to get an MRI, right? And if it was caught before, they would have sent me to MedHold. Yes, I would have been sad because I was being sent to MedHold, but at least I would have made it through. I probably wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have been in the same flight with the girls that I possibly would have graduated with. But at the end of the day, I still didn't graduate with them. So what was the whole, the whole point was to not fall out of my flight. I still ended up falling out of my flight. The whole point was to graduate on time. I didn't graduate on time. I didn't even get to finish graduation because they told me I have to come back in 6 months once I'm healed. That's where I'm at in this whole situation. I'm home right now, just sitting, healing. I can't do too much labor work. I can't run all the way, because if I run, then I'm putting myself at risk for more injury and not healing completely. And when I go back, I have to have a clean MRI showing that I'm 100% healed. So, like, what the heck? Yep, that's where my life is right now. I'm freaking stuck. Overall, BMT, loved it. Great experience. I learned a lot. The MTIs I had were great. It really was a learning experience. Being there for 5 months, it teaches you resiliency, because even though I was in MedHold and my flight graduated, I was still stuck as a trainee. I didn't learn, I didn't gain, I mean, I did learn. I didn't get privileges like, oh, you get your phone whenever you want and you get to talk to your family whenever you want. No, we did get phone calls 2 times out a week, and then once you hit your 30 days, you get phone calls. You get FaceTime calls on Fridays with your family, like 30-minute FaceTime calls. You get 20-minute FaceTime calls Mondays and Wednesdays. It had its benefits. I mean, you did gain some things, but you didn't gain, like, I feel like I just did not, it wasn't fair. My experience was not fair. It sucked. I was very disappointed. I was very sad. And it's like, why? Why did I have to go through it like that? Why couldn't I be the one to just make it through like everyone else? My flight had 42 girls. I'm the only one that fell out. My MTI almost graduated a full flight, and I didn't make it. I'm the reason why he couldn't graduate a full flight. And no, it's not wholeheartedly my fault, but it still sucks. It's a crappy feeling. It's a sucky feeling because I tried. I gave it my all. Like, I really tried. I wanted it so badly, and I almost had it, but it just wasn't in the cards for me at that time. It sucks. It sucks so much. And then I see some of the girls from my flight. I have them on like social media, and I see them having a great time and having so much fun. And it's like, damn, why couldn't that be me? It's a real bittersweet feeling, because it's not like I might have to do a video on MedHold, because MedHold itself, yeah, I'm gonna do a video on MedHold. I'm gonna do a video on MedHold because MedHold itself is its own story. It's its own breed of craziness, and it's just, woo. I met some really great people in MedHold, and I have some like amazing lifetime friends that I have through MedHold. But boy, MedHold, like 6 weeks or 8 weeks in line flight will never compare to the amount of time that I spent in MedHold and the shit that I went through in MedHold. Because of MedHold, I literally was having stress headaches. My last couple weeks, days there, I was having stress headaches. Undeniable, just really, really bad stress headaches. It was horrible. But yes, let me hurry up with this look because I'm taking too long. But honestly, the Air Force isn't bad. It's not like you have what you do you wake up in the morning when you're on the summer schedule. You wake up in the morning, you work out, then afterwards you're in class from about whatever time you have class to whenever they tell you don't have class anymore. You're in class. It's not a bad thing. Could be worse. I enjoyed it. It has its benefits. It has its downsides. The only thing about Alcatraz that people make fun of is because of the fact that we had 8 shower heads, 42 girls, and we all had to shower in like 15 to 20 minutes, which is great because some MTIs did not give their girls that much time. They got about 10 minutes, and you can have a flight of 42 girls. Some had damn near 50, and they had 10 minutes to shower. It's all different. It all depends on the MTIs you had. The MTIs I had, they were great about that. They gave us enough time to shower and stuff like that. It could be worse. It could have been worse. I didn't have that bad of an experience in line flight, actually. MedHold is different. MedHold experience, very different. Line flight, loved it. Loved it. Can't wait. I cannot wait because I am going back. I will be going back. I'm probably not going back active, but I will be going back because I want to be part of the Air Force, and I still have more to learn. I still have more to learn from the Air Force. They have taught me a lot so far, and I can't wait to learn more and go back. Because the crew, honestly, I'm glad I chose the Air Force because I was going to go Army at first, but I'm glad I didn't choose Army. So glad. I met some really good friends there, like Matherin, Dixon. My last couple people that I were there out in MedHold with, met some really good friends. Matherin, Dixon, Lyric, Blast, like BB, JJ. Oh my goodness, JJ. Something wrong with that girl. But they were some really good people. I did meet really good people out there. People that I would consider lifetime friends. People that I consider, we did that. MedHold is not easy. Not easy. I'm gonna tell y'all my MedHold story. Going to, because anybody who was in MedHold knows it ain't easy. Yes, so I am back. So overall, I will rate my experience with the Air Force. It was like a 7. It wasn't that bad. It could have been worse. I'm not mad. Actually, I was mad. I was very mad when I first came home because I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to be here. I did not want to be back in Jersey. I miss my friends here, yeah, but I didn't want to be here. I did not. I'm happy I'm home because I had to see family and friends, but this is not where I wanted to be at all. It's not. Let me fix my camera. It's how can I put this? It's just like when you know you should be somewhere else, or you feel in your heart you want to be somewhere else and you can't be, and it's not up to you, it's out of your control. It sucks and it kind of hurts. It does sincerely hurt me. But I have new things that I'm doing with myself, trying out. And I feel like it can work. You just have to see how it all plays out for me. Honestly, that's what I'm just waiting to see how life plays out, because it can honestly be worse. I'm still healing and I'm limited to certain things only because of my injury, but it's gotten better. I used to have to wear an ankle brace all the time. It's gotten to the place where I can wear it sometimes, but I still kind of wear it all the time still, which kind of sucks. My knees, they hurt a lot. 95% of the time, like just bending my knee or having it like straight for too long or standing for too long still hurts. And I'm like, hey, when is this gonna go away? I hope it's nothing permanent, because that'll really suck. I would be so devastated if I have permanent damage, because that happens to some people. Some people leave the Air Force with permanent damage, and they're really, really young. They didn't even get to experience the full thing of it, and I hope that's not me, because I want to return. The plan is for me to return. I might not be able to in 6 months because of my healing, but the plan is to return, and I'm not letting anything get in my way of that. Oh, baby, I will be returning, and I will be a U.S. airman. Point blank, period. That's it. Because I live the military life. What? Man, if I was to be able, if I finished all the way through, man, I would have been enjoying my military life right now. Enjoying the heck out of it. But I'm not. I'm home. Which I'm not. It's not that bad. Could be worse. I mean, at least I'm home with my family during this crisis. I'm happy to be home with my family during this time. You know, everyone in my family so far is safe and sound. Everything's good. My mom, she's working very hard. She's a nurse, so she's working very hard to help others right now, which is great. Boop, 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 boop. Ooh. Oh, the shirt I'm wearing is my flight shirt. Yes, I was flight 802, 326 Training Squadron, Bulldog. I hope when I go back, I hope I go back to the Bulldog Training Squadron. I don't want to go to anywhere else. I don't want to go to Disney. I want to be in Alcatraz. I want to, ooh. Oh, I'll be right back. Let me go change. Anyways, thank you for watching. This is a little get ready with me. If you enjoyed this, please give this a thumbs up and leave comments in the section below. Thank you.